Etzanoa is, archaeologically speaking, just a fascinating puzzle. A very large town, larger than the modern-day town, that is invisible. It's a major concentration of human population in a time and a place where nobody expected that. And so our site is one of those. Etzanoa is one town of quite a few towns in what was called Quivira.
And it's in the account of the Onati expedition. We have this one set of observations made in 1601. They sent out a scouting expedition, men on horseback who were gone all day, and who came back and said, well, it just continues on. So I'm estimating 200,000 people, maybe, be a reasonable estimate, larger than any other political unit of its day in what's now the United States. By a lot. Not by a little, by a lot. Good hardwood forest in the bottomlands, and a whole series of springs that issue from the bluff on which we're currently digging. It's the right sort of place, or near a cave or cenote that gives access to the underworld. Our bluff has a whole series of those, including one that showed up in the magnetometry readings. You can see there's a very long channel down below where we are that feeds out somewhere on the edge at the base of the bluff. So water from the underworld is what powers the earth, and we have it in spades.
There is rock art, and some of it's quite unusual, and some of it's a form that's widespread. So the widespread form is cupules on some large boulders that probably, interpolating from other places where we know people did that, for fertility magic for women to guarantee getting pregnant. Adjacent to that, there's some rock art that is like none other that I've ever seen. But I think we have an idea of how to interpret it, and it has to do with movement of water out of and back into the underworld. And so there are little miniature depictions of caves that feed into squares cut into the rock. And very often a square is a depiction of this world, and then with a channel that leads to, in one really nice case, to a big hole in the rock where it disappears back into the underworld.
So this idea of a cave that has water coming out of it is especially a sacred place. It gives you contact with the spirits of the underworld. So it is a depiction of this cosmological motif that is well known in Mesoamerica. It existed up here too, and this is clear evidence of it.
Beit She'arim, the most ancient, extensive Jewish cemetery in the world. The wealth of artistic adornments contained in this necropolis is unparalleled anywhere.
This place is nothing but conventional and holds one of the world's greatest mysteries. What does a perfectly level and rectangular a 9-ton slab of glass doing in the middle of a burial cave? So why are there so many burial caves here? And why are they so fancy? The answer to that question might just lie in one of the world's greatest mysteries: a 9-ton ancient slab of glass found in the middle of a necropolis. So you're looking at this and you're saying, wait a second, it's a rock. It looks like a rock, it feels like a rock. Well, somebody in the 1950s suggested that this is glass, and they laughed at them. So in 1963, they were making the research about ancient glass. So they drilled a sample out of the middle of a rock. It took them hours to drill through, and they took it to a lab. And the analysis from the lab showed that the chemical composition of this material is glass. In fact, it is 9 ton of it. 9 ton of glass. That equals to 60,000 perfume bottles.
To produce such a slab of glass, they would need 12 tons of raw material, 20 tons of fuel, an 1100 degrees centigrade furnace that burns 5 to 10 days continually. To put it into perspective, imagine 12 full truckloads of sand, 250 wood logs that, if you put on top of each other, would come up almost twice higher than the Empire State Building, and a furnace that can melt most metals.
So it might just be that I'm touching a temple artifact.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
In the 1940s, they used to have a double tire for snow and rain.
The idea, of course, is to cut out cutting in, and there couldn't be anything simpler. When approaching a car traveling in the opposite direction, up goes the do not overtake signal, then the signal to overtake now. This overtaking business is some undertaking.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
Maybe we need to bring back this not-so-classic invention. Car safety technology saw dramatic improvement in the 21st century, but in the 1930s, things were a lot different. This was a time before the first car with a 3-point seatbelt system even came to be. While seatbelts prioritize the safety of passengers inside by minimizing the effects of inertia, it does little to cushion the impact dealt to pedestrians outside. That's why, in the 30s, 2 Sheffield engineers came up with an invention to address just that. With the help of their bizarre pedestrian catching contraption, using a retractable net akin to the front shovel of a backhoe loader, the inventors hoped to keep pedestrians from being fatally wounded during a collision. However, much like an odd life-saving concept car in the 50s, this idea never really caught on in the world of car safety equipment. You may be wondering, would this even work even if it had caught on? Well, it depends on what you mean by work. What the pedestrian scooper tries to accomplish isn't necessarily to keep pedestrians from getting hit. Rather, it's to simply prevent them from being run over. The thing is, this rudimentary form of car safety technology only sounds good on paper, and its real-life execution leaves a lot to be desired. The device starts with installing a metallic bar containing the contraption as either an add-on to a car's front bumper or as its replacement. If the driver foresaw a possible collision, he would push a lever under the car's steering wheel, deploying a safety net to catch an unsuspecting pedestrian relatively unscathed. According to Bloomberg, there are many things that could go seriously wrong if the pedestrian scooper were to be used in such a scenario. The sheer weight and speed of the vehicle alone would likely end in pedestrians receiving concussions upon impact on the net's metallic rim. On the other hand, if a driver deploys it a second too late, it would also end in the same lethal outcome. Of course, this was still tamer compared to car safety tech back in the 20s. During that period, vehicle safety merely consisted of using chair-like bumpers to catch pedestrians, possibly breaking their legs. Another YouTube video shows a certain Dr. Clifford's autosaver invention, which basically acts as a rolling pin that spins pedestrians around like pizza dough. Again, likely producing similar results.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
Welcome to Centurite. Hello, fellow explorers. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey to a village that will not only captivate your senses, but also challenge your perception of what a community can be. Welcome to Centuripe, a hidden gem nestled in the heart of Sicily, Italy. This charming enclave is no ordinary village. It's a living work of art shaped like a human being. From its winding streets that mimic intricate veins to its vibrant buildings reflecting the vitality of its residents, Centuripe is a true testament to the harmonious blend of creativity and history. In this video, we'll delve into the depths of Centuripe, exploring its rich cultural heritage, awe-inspiring architecture, and the warm embrace of community that defines this one-of-a-kind destination.
Check out this crystal ice. They look like ice rods, just like the Superman Fortress of Solitude. Check that out. Welcome to your new Earth.
Canoeing, this woman noticed that this ice looks very weird, but there's a reason why this happens. It's actually called candle ice and forms because ice crystals are shaped like hexagons, and when the edges begin to melt, the weakest part actually melts first, which in turn create these candle-like ice rods.
This has been a Kinginati production. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. If you'd like to support the channel, links are in the description.